Hey, good Monday morning, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. There is another snowstorm, sizable snowstorm, heading toward Michigan. I'd call it the northern third of lower Michigan, and the UP and the southern two-thirds will get in on some snowfall also. So let's get to it and get you all situated with the weather. First for today. Today is not a bad day. Good morning, David Martin and Todd Anderson. Today we'll have sunshine and we'll have temperatures for highs in the lower 40s, we'll call it, in southern Michigan. 40 in Detroit and Ann Arbor, 41 in Jackson, 42 in Lansing and Grand Rapids, 43 Saginaw Bay City, and then you go to Traverse City and Gaylord and Charlevoix and you're in the 30s, and in the UP you are in the 30s also, and upper 20s. All right, so now we got to get to it. There's a winter storm watch already issued for the northern third of lower Michigan. Winter storm watch for much of Wisconsin, Minnesota, northern parts of Iowa. And I have to tell you, all of the models that I look at are quite consistent right now with a very similar pattern. So you're going to be looking at the GFS, the American model, and it looks very similar to the European. Hey, good morning, Todd Kirby and Terry, I think Wisner maybe? That's how they say the town over in the thumb. Yeah, spring break, says Rita K. Really? Okay, so this is tomorrow, this is tonight at 2 in the morning, and then this is tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. The storm's starting to form out here. Light snow starting to break out across the northern half of lower Michigan. This is midday tomorrow, a 996 low, and let me show you the consistency. We get a run on this model every 6 hours, okay? So just focus on that right there. And 6 hours ago, that was the forecast, 995 low, about the exact same spot. So it's a very consistent forecast. And look at the rain snow line, not changing much at all, just a couple of miles or so. Okay, this is Tuesday evening, 8 o'clock. The storm center starting to shift to the east and the colder air starting to come in. The snowstorm is raging across the northern half of lower Michigan, let's call it, you know, north of Bay City to Mount Pleasant. This is Tuesday night, 2 a.m. And then what I'm seeing with this that's consistent on both the GFS and the European is quite a wraparound area of a light to moderate widespread snow. This is Wednesday morning. This is a north wind at 20 miles an hour. Hey, good morning, Alta in Boston. This is a north wind at 20 miles an hour. This is steady snow for about a 6-hour period before the storm pulls on toward the northeast. All right, so I'm going to give you an estimate of how much snow, but remember, changes will occur, and at this point the high end is usually overdone by a few inches. So I just want you to get a feel for where the heaviest snow will be, and you've got to promise me to stay updated on MLive if I show you this. Okay, so here we go, and here's the accumulated snowfall, total accumulated snowfall off the GFS. Again, very similar to the European, within miles and within inches. And Chad wants to know how much for Marshall. You'll be in that southern part where I think it's probably an inch or less. Okay, so this is the snowstorm when it's done. Yeah, you're seeing that correctly, but remember, take this down several inches. So I'm going to call this a 6 to 10 inch snow, northern third of lower Michigan, north of Bay City, north of Gladwin, north of Mount Pleasant, and then 1 to 3 inches through Bay City, Saginaw, Mount Pleasant, and then an inch or less from Flint to Grand Rapids to Detroit and Ann Arbor. Tigran, Traverse City is right in the heart of what could be a heavy snow. And again, this is what I didn't want. Someone just mentioned, well, it looks like it's going to miss Jackson. The point is, this is very early. A shift 100 miles south and it changes. So that's what I don't want you to get out of this is, oh, okay, that's what it is. See you later. It's an update thing. You got to keep watching it. It's consistent right now, but it will change. It'll change by 50 or 100 miles. Most of the time, at this time of the year, the warm air has more strength of the cold air. I'm not convinced about that this year, but most of the time, that storm center will creep a little farther north and the rain-snow line will shift a little farther north. But not always. Sometimes it creeps farther south if the cold air has more strength, which it is pretty strong. So point being is Tuesday and a Wednesday, nasty travel around Michigan, especially Wednesday morning. Just about everywhere will be below freezing with snow falling on warm roads that are cooling down. So be careful. Now, Berta, remember, I just gave my little talk to you that you gotta watch for updates, okay? All right, so there we go. That's it. Don't take those numbers verbatim. Still way out. I probably shouldn't have done that because everybody runs with it. And then you know what makes a meteorologist really mad is it escalates almost to like a fish story. You know, I caught a 10-inch bass. So it was 12 inch. By the end of the day, it's a 16-inch, 5-pound bass. You know, we show you this and preface that is the very high end right now and probably less than that. And then it just escalates. Did you hear we're going to have feet of snow? So that, and here comes my little helper. We got Marley, the granddaughter. So that's the scoop on that. I will keep you updated and have yourselves a great Monday. If you have some traveling to do, make sure you do it today. And in the southern part of Michigan, it will be all rain tomorrow, so you won't have any problems there. I'm going to leave you now. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great Monday.